Welcome to Singapore, quite literally the Lion City. When you visit Singapore for the first time, you might feel like you've landed 20 years in the future. This vibrant green city is something I think everyone should see. And for what it lacks in size, it makes up for in experience. Singapore has got it going on. Singapore is one of the wealthiest nations on the planet, but a place where you can still get a Michelin-starred meal for under $4. For first-time visitors to Asia, you may appreciate that English is the primary language here in Singapore, but Chinatown and Little India are not to be missed. And since we're right in the middle of what I would consider the tastiest part of the world, no foodie will be left yearning for more after a few laps around the hawker markets. This is one of my favorite places on the planet, and today we're checking out of our hotel to head to the airport and check off one of my ultimate bucket list items, Singapore Sweets. Yo, my name is Jeff, and I believe the journey is half the fun. The now familiar drive to Changi Airport only takes about 25 minutes, and our Grab driver had never been in the first class check-in before, and neither had we, so he missed the turn, and rather than have him circle back around again, we decided we could just hop on out and walk over. The Singapore Suites experience starts the moment that you arrive here. Wow, this is like walking into a 5-star hotel. The amount of staff here to help is mind-blowing, and we seem to be the only people here at the moment. Normally, when you leave, you can head straight over to the private first class security. However, we got here nice and early because this is the coolest airport on the planet, and we did not want to rush. Oh, and did I mention that this 10-hour ultra-luxurious flight to Auckland only cost us about $50 each and some points? More on that later. Have you ever watched the movie The Terminal where Tom Hanks is stuck living in an airport? Well, if I had to live in an airport, I'd pick this one for sure. Do you have a favorite airport? If you do, let me know by leaving a comment below. So, what can you do here on a long layover? Movie theater? Sunflower garden? Video games? Endless shopping and dining? Koi pond? Butterfly garden? Jewel? Let's go check this out. Jewel Changi Airport is a relatively new addition landside that features the world's largest indoor waterfall and its centerpiece surrounded by several stories of shopping, food, and unique entertainment. One of the coolest attractions is a glass bridge you can walk on high above. Have you ever walked on a glass floor like this? I've seen them in some tall buildings in Tokyo and Toronto, and also over the Grand Canyon. This one isn't so high in comparison, but either way, it definitely takes some getting used to. Now a little bit on how I booked these flights so cheap. The only way that you can use points to book flights in first class on Singapore Airlines is directly through the airline. I'm a big fan of the Amex Platinum card because it has all these amazing travel perks that we use. Amex points can be transferred to many different airlines and different hotels, including Singapore Airlines. The cool thing is this card earns 5 times the points on all the airfare and any hotels that are booked through Amex, so for frequent flyers, that really adds up fast. This is also not a typical credit card, it's actually a charge card, which means you pay it in full every month. They also offer business and personal versions of the Platinum card, and you're probably going to need a very good credit score to qualify. Now, this is not an ad for Amex, but I did leave my referral code below, so in case you'd like to earn currently a 60,000 point sign-up bonus, or whatever they may be offering at the time, tonight's flight to Auckland is going to cost 80,000 points and about $50 in taxes, actually about 80 Singapore dollars, about 50 or 60 US dollars. Now, considering this flight usually books for $5,000 one way, I'd say that is a killer deal. And you're actually getting about 6 cents for every point that you cash in for this flight. So whereas maybe you get 1 or 2 cents for cashback rewards or transferring those to a gift card or something like that, this is a really great value and a really great way to use your points. After a little bit of shopping and walking around, we decided to head to the Singapore Airlines lounge so we could check out the private room. When we checked in, upon seeing our invitations to the private room, we were personally escorted all the way through the lounge, past the first class lounge, all the way to the private room entrance in the back. Since the private room is private after all, there is no filming allowed, but we did take a few photos that you can check out here. When boarding began, suites customers were invited to board right away. And one thing that really amazed us was the flight attendant greeted us by name on the jet bridge. Now I assume maybe they radioed down or something ahead of time as they scanned our boarding passes, but I really have no idea. And it was quite an amazing start to our experience. Wonderful. Yeah, how about yours? As we got comfortable in our suite, Amanda was offered more of the fancy champagne that she enjoyed earlier in the private room. Our meals were quite tasty. We decided to skip most of the courses because we didn't want to miss out on those Book the Cook meals. Now, what is Book the Cook? This is a really cool experience where you can go online and select your meal well before the flight. And boy, did they have some really tasty choices. Our meals were delicious, certainly some of the best food that we've ever been served in the sky. After our meals, we changed into the pajamas that were provided when we first got on board. And then the cabin crew transformed our suites into one big bed. It was even more comfortable than it looks, the best sleep I've ever had on an airplane. I think that I slept for most of our flight and we woke up just in time to have breakfast before landing. Needless to say, this flight exceeded all of our expectations, and having flown Singapore Airlines a few times before, our expectations were quite high. If you think this looks cool, they have introduced an even newer first class suites product that they are retrofitting all their planes to have, and it looks really incredible. I can't wait to try that out soon. As we touched down in New Zealand, we were sad to leave this incredible experience behind, but excited to see what was a new and exciting country for us as well. If you'd like to learn more about some of these travel hacks, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell below so you're the first to know when I post a new video. I believe that travel helps us build a more peaceful planet, and maybe I'll see you on my next journey. Peace out.